Hello, everybody. I believe it's recording or broadcasting now. So, hey, how's everybody doing? Back today to basically chat a little bit about the reward again, and also to talk about something next week. For people that are in, California, Southern California area, to possibly consider coming out, and I'm going to take the banner that we had made in Australia, and we're gonna take it somewhere, and we're gonna try to get as many supporters and take pictures with it and stuff. Anyway, I'll explain more of that later. To talk about the reward real quick, I gave you guys my thoughts on it already, what I think, in the other video, but there was something I was seeing in a Facebook group I'm in that has both sides. It has people that believe that the boys are guilty, people that believe they're innocent, people that believe a mixture. Anyway, and in this group I saw somebody trying to make the argument that this makes Zellner look desperate, that the reward itself makes Zellner look desperate, and I just wanted to address it. I wanted to address that. Had Zellner been the one putting up the money, that might have seemed a little bit different. But the fact of the matter is this is not Zellner's move. Okay? This is a private citizen who made this move. And all Zellner did was make sure everybody knew about it so that it would have a chance at being effective. And she tweeted it and talked about it so that way it gets into the media and people know about it. People that might know something see, there's $100,000 reward if nobody knows about it, nobody can claim it. So all Zellner did was create the awareness of the reward. So I don't blame her for that. Like I said, it's another tool. It's another tool and figuring out what actually happened here, because the one thing I know from the state's narrative is that I don't know what happened here. That's the one thing I'm sure of. So I wanted to address that. Yeah, I mean, it's not desperation. It wasn't her move. So anyway, as I said, for me it's just another step, another way of putting pressure on, these agents of the state there in Wisconsin, that have been obstructing and doing all these various things that they've been doing, and hiding things and holding back things, and, and when we read these investigation reports, we know what they just skipped right over. We know, it's just, you look at this investigation and it's just a joke. It's a joke. And so is Zellner going to use every possible, tool that she can? Yes. Because you're fighting against a state and the resources of a state. She's not about to pull punches. She's not, if this were a football analogy, she's not about to pull her first string O-line, and that sort of thing. No, she's going to continue to do whatever she can to expose this. And this is just another thing. But like I said, it's not actually her doing it. So to say it's her desperation is logically unsound. So I just thought I'd point that out. For those of you who see people out there arguing that, that's where that lays, All Zellner did was make people aware of it. And that makes it more effective and possibly could work. And I think that's what the guilters are really complaining about. I believe they're complaining because they see how this could possibly, get somebody talking. And nobody wants to be wrong. They feel all safe and nice right now because they feel like the courts are, going to hold Avery and Dassey in. They feel right, and they don't want that to change. And that's probably why they feel threatened by this reward being offered. Anyway, I may be wrong, but That's just a guess. Shot in the dark, if you will. I completely disagree with that. Let's see. She was open and upfront about it. I think I mentioned the other night. How disappointed I am in that line of thought. Has any info been released on tips for the reward? As far as I know, nothing's coming yet, but we all thought originally that it would be at least a week, we figured it would be at least a week before anything, because somebody out there that did have information would certainly be concerned about their safety, coming forward and that sort of stuff. So we've all kind of reasoned that it may not come out immediately. It may be a little time. Was there a reward offered in the Dream Killer? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't remember there being a reward offered. Where's it with the mark thing? I believe that Patty is, I guess, trying to say. I guess she's suggesting Mark put it up. I guess I don't know. I guess that's what that is. I don't know. I didn't really understand it. That's why I kind of was skipping over it. So, anyways, so that's basically all I had to say about that. I just, for those who find those guilters saying it looks like desperation, just point out it's not her. All she did was call attention to it. It's not her doing, Anyway, yeah. I don't even think it's on her. I mean, on her part, for her to share it and make people aware of it so that it actually has a chance of working. Yeah, definitely. That was brilliant, But so, anyways, so that's just that was something I noticed and wanted to say regarding the reward, because. I was just like, that just doesn't even make any sense. So, yeah, well, it's a good idea for her to share it and make people, so that people would be aware of it, and like it could actually possibly reach the person who might know something, and then they would be aware that there's money out there that they could claim if they so desire, right? But if nobody's aware of it, then nothing's going to happen. So what does she do? She made people aware of it. It's just logic. It's just logic. That's it. So, anyway. All right. Moving on to the next thing. There we go. So, we are planning something. You guys saw the thumbnail there. At the beginning of the video before it started. And I was thinking, because I was hearing about the fact that Not Scary Farm was starting up next week. I believe it's on Thursday. And it was going to be starting up, and I thought, that would be a pretty cool, situation. If we could get a group of people out there with the banner and take pictures, like, in front of the entrance to Not Scary Farm and things like that. And I thought, we might actually, when we're there, some people might see us and what we have there, and who have watched Making a Murderer, and might just walk up to us and be like, oh my God, what are you guys doing, or something, and then we might get a bigger crowd of people jumping in. And I thought it would actually have the added quality of being cool, because most everybody there is going to be dressed up in Halloween costumes and that sort of stuff. So I thought it would be interesting in that aspect. I am thinking about like how it should go. I was thinking, maybe we should do that at Not Scary Farm, have everybody meet there, do that little thing for maybe an hour, and then jump over to Disneyland, Halloween Haunt at Disneyland, and go out in front of the entrance of Disneyland and whatever, because Knott's and Disneyland actually aren't very far apart. They're, short drive down the freeway, really, apart. So I thought we might be able to do that. And that way we could hit both of the Halloween things. And we might even get like a Halloween Mickey or something possibly to come over and pose with the banner, right? So I was thinking, I don't know. These are just ideas I was throwing around thinking about, and possibly, what could be cool and what could be fun to create more awareness and that sort of stuff. Good morning, Lorraine. And so I thought this could be fun. And it actually seems like there's been some people responding on Twitter. Had some people hit me up on PMs today asking me about it. One person wanting to come from out of state, which I thought was very interesting. I was just like, yeah, definitely, come on down, hints that maybe somebody else might come from out of country, but we'll have to see. Maybe. But anyway, I just thought it would be cool. I thought it would be, fun. And then I figured we could hit those two, and then, just find like a nice little, restaurant or pub or something nearby, say Disneyland, since we're going there second, say right somewhere over there, and hit a little pub or something, whatever, where we can all eat and, have some food and talk and whatever afterward, and, maybe even have a few beers. So that was my thinking. But then again, I thought, some people might actually want to go into these venues. And so I was wondering if, maybe we should be looking at it that way. But anyway. Hi, Mandy. What's your question mark about? It can't be little, though? Mm-hmm. I sure hope so. I'm actually, what I'm really hoping for is that we'll get people that are coming to Not Scary Farm who will see us out there in front of the entrance goofing off and taking pictures and videos. I'm going to have my GoPro there and all kinds of stuff and everything. And they may see us goofing around and all that and may want to jump in and ask us what's going on and that sort of. That's what I'm really, for me, that would be the ultimate positive from this. If we actually get to engage some people, Another thing there, a local radio station will be there that night as well. So it'll make it a little bit more a buzz, and that sort of thing. It could be fun. It could be interesting. So, and there, we could potentially create quite a bit of attention for Stephen and Brendan over there. And then, like I said, we could jump over and go over to Halloween Haunt over at Disneyland, and that would be awesome if we could get like a Halloween Mickey to come and pose with us with the banner. That would be freaking awesome if we could do that somehow. But so these are my ideas. Hi, Mandy. Hello, Sila. So, anyways, next week, let me see here, it's the 19th. So it would be a week from right now, basically, is when we would be going over there. We can do Disneyland again, Rhonda, when you come. Mainly the reason why I was wanting to jump over there right now is because they're also having their Halloween Haunt, which is their Halloween theme, deal. So I figured it might be cool to do both. And then we can, when you're down here on the 12th next month, then we can plan maybe another outing with the banner and head over to Disneyland, during the daytime or in the morning or something. And I don't know, maybe even get a crowd of us and we go inside, after we do our pictures and stuff. I don't know if we actually take the banner inside. I think that could be problematic. It probably wouldn't be able to go on some rides, and you'd have to leave it off the ride and get it when you got off the ride. And I don't know if I wouldn't feel good about that, because that banner has got a lot of sentimental value for me. Got that made while we were over in Australia. It was actually pretty much last minute, but Mark was still able to get his guy to make it, and that was awesome. So it'll be a week, so it'll be next week on Thursday for those that are thinking about it. And like I said, I think it could be a lot of fun. I'm really hoping that some people will see us there all, taking pictures and all that sort of stuff, and will actually come up to us and start to engage with us, so that we can actually start just on the street talking to people about it. And I think that could be kind of cool. I think that could be a fun aspect to it. And so that's one thing I'm really hoping for. It'd be really, really cool. Well, as I said, the second destination will be Disneyland. But as far as I can tell, they're both really close to each other. They're both just about maybe within 5 or 10 miles of each other. It's not far apart. They're not far apart. They're really not. And they're just a short jaunt down the freeway. It literally takes about maybe 10-15 minutes to get between the two. So yeah, you can definitely join us when we go head over to Disneyland for Halloween Haunt on the 19th, if you'd like, Jen Underwood. So those are the thoughts, those are the plans, things that we were thinking about. This is something Julie Pom Pom and I were discussing last night. We were recording an episode for Fen and her podcast coming up. I want to encourage everybody out there to make sure they go check out Fen's podcast. She will start uploading them very soon, and possibly next week, but maybe in 2 weeks. But she's going to start uploading them. She's lining up some really good guests, and so it should be interesting. So I would encourage everybody to go check her podcast out. And like I said, I will share it with you guys. I'll share it on my Facebook page. I'll share it on Twitter, and I'll talk about it with you guys here when she does finally start to upload her podcasts. But we were recording one last night, and I got to talking to Julie about this idea I had about this, about doing the banner and going over to Knott's Halloween, Knott's Scary Farm there and that sort of stuff. And so she was pretty excited about it, and so we ran with it. I went ahead and posted it on my Facebook page and on Twitter, and there's been some people responding to it, reacting to it, and like I said, I had some people PMing me. Wearing sunscreen. Okay. I'm sorry, you said Disney World. Oh yes, my bad, Jen. You're right. It's quite a bit more than a jaunt between those two. But yeah, certainly, if I could get me and all these supporters to Disney World, I would. I guarantee you, I would if I could. Oh, thank you, Pamela. She's starting one. She hasn't uploaded. She's getting a few episodes first, and then she's going to start to upload. So it's going to be called 80 More Things Podcast. And like I said, as soon as she starts posting them, I will be letting you all know about it. And like I said, she's going to be lining up some good guests, some fun guests. So I think you guys will like it. I think you guys definitely should check it out when she starts it up. So that's mainly the two things I wanted to talk about, just to talk a little bit more about this event for next week. Those that are interested, give me feedback. Go to my Facebook page or something. Give me feedback what you think. If you're wanting to go, are you thinking about you'd rather go into one of the venues, or are you thinking hitting both venues and just taking pictures by the entrances and then going somewhere to like a nice restaurant or pub afterward is a good idea? Let me know if you're interested in going, but you think actually going to one of the venues would be better or more fun. Let me know. Give me your thoughts, folks. So let me know what you think. Fenn's awesome. I love Fenn too. And she's got the perfect radio voice, man. She's just got that smooth voice. It's perfect. Perfect for a podcast. Drive out there early? Is that what you meant? Sorry to be off topic. I've been well for a minute. Well, we'd love to see you, Rhonda. I've been well for a minute. What do you mean? I'm sorry, Sila. I think I'm maybe missing something there. Oh, AWOL for a while. Travis is around. Him and I were on a video fairly recently. Allie is a little bit busy at the moment, but she's still around. So I anticipate that once there's something big and exciting in the case, we'll get to see a bunch of, those folks you guys are used to seeing. Sometimes we YouTubers, we actually got to deal with real life stuff too. It's a pain in the butt. So, but sometimes we have to, and so I think Allie's kind of dealing with some real life stuff at the moment, and but she'll be around. She'll be back. So that was my main topics. Anybody want to ask a question before I go? So when you guys see the podcast that hear the podcast that the episode where Fenn talks to me, it's going to be about wrongful convictions. And the thing is that we talk a little bit about Stephen and Brendan, but most of the podcast is about awareness of other wrongful convictions, so that people can see the common strains and common threads that run through wrongful convictions and the common earmarks that you see in them time after time. So that's what we were doing. Glad everybody's well. Absolutely. Damn adult responsibilities. Yep. Can't always be about M.A.M., right? And it's probably better that it's not, because the fact that I have to go to work and I have to concentrate on something completely different than making a murderer for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, it probably keeps me from burning out. To be honest, that's probably the one thing that's kept me from just burning out completely, is because I spend half of my day focusing on something completely different. We do not have link for the podcast yet, but as soon as she begins to upload her podcasts, I will let you know, and I will provide you with links for it. It would. Yes, absolutely. You couldn't just be 24/7 the case. I mean, it would just be, well, basically you would be, people in your real life around you, you would be unapproachable. They wouldn't want to come talk to you because they know all you're going to start talking about is something that they don't understand or want to know about, right? So, you have to remember to stay grounded in reality so that you can still deal with people out there in society. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it's you know. So like I said, working hard. You know, it probably, you know, and working, you know, my regular job and then doing this, it's probably good because it keeps me busy. It keeps me, you know, it keeps me working to improve. There's a lot of positive benefits that come from it. Yeah, it's tough. It's grueling sometimes. You know, after a long day at work, sometimes I don't want to sit down and read a long document and put together a video. But like, I know that it's best to do it while the iron's hot, while people are asking questions, and it's better to do it then and get it out as quick as possible. So there's a lot of times where I'll put my own exhaustion aside, but I actually nowadays try not to do that. I try to, when I'm feeling a little bit or meh or something like that, then I just let it go. I let it go for the next day. And then usually by the next day, I'm like fired up and raring to do it, you know? And that's the way it should be. I should be fired up to do a video. I shouldn't be forcing myself through the motions. You know what I mean? And that's the big deal. And when I know, there's been a few videos where I felt like I was forcing myself through the motions, and I just didn't like it. Didn't like the way I felt about it. Didn't like the way anything about it. And that feeling that way is a symptom of burning out. So that's when I started to take it seriously, that I needed to take me time occasionally to make sure I don't get out of balance, you know? So anyway, you know. Thank you so much. It is a grind, but like I said, the grind is actually what makes it kind of work, you know, keeps me balanced, you know, so that's the good part of it. Yeah, the rhythm is another good way to put it. Absolutely. So, all right, any other questions? Whew, it's getting hot in my studio. All right. Well, and that's also true. It's like you don't want to rush through a document. You know, you want to make sure you're understanding it and that you're absorbing it, and you know, you want to make sure of those things. I mean, it's true. If you rush, you misperceive things. It gets messy if you rush through, especially documents. So, there's absolutely some truth in that, Rhonda. So, all right. Okay, that was it for tonight, folks. Just a quick one. Just wanted to, like I said, talk about the fact that I can't see it as Zellner's desperation because it's not Zellner's move. All Zellner did was the logical thing of making sure people knew about the reward so that it could possibly be effective. That's all she did. Her appeal moves forward. Right? So, and if new evidence comes from this, the reward and whatever tip maybe leads to new evidence and stuff like that, well, there you go. You know? So it'll be another thing that could potentially be remanded again. So it's like I said, this does nothing to hurt Zellner, And by sharing it and so making sure people were aware of it, it only has the potential to help her. It's basically win-win, smart move. And the fact that the guilters are trying to twist it the other way shows me, really, they're worried. They're worried that something could actually come out and that they could be wrong about this. That's my opinion, but I think it's right on the mark. You have a question. Sandra tweeted that she's pretty sure who will come forward. If she did, I don't know who she's talking about. I do talk to Sandra, but her and I don't like talk every day. I don't know what was behind that. So. Can I just say though, Patty, you've stayed within the lines here, but can I just say you're like Paul Capaldi. You have the big king size spoon, and you like to try to get in there and. Exactly. Zellner didn't offer the reward, just reported. Exactly. That's been my main theme throughout this video, is that it wasn't her move. All she did was make people aware of it. All right. So, okay, that's going to be it for today, folks. I hope we can get a significant amount of people out there at Not Scary Farm and going over to Halloween Haunt over at Disneyland, I hope. So, let me know if you guys are interested. Message me on my Facebook page. You can even hit me up on Twitter. I don't care. Wherever you want. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the ideas of just hitting both and going out to eat or something? Or do more people maybe, are more people thinking they'd like to go to one of the venues if we do this, that sort of thing. So if you guys are interested, let me know what your preferences are on that sort of stuff so we can get this thing set up. Like I said, we have a week from tonight. So, all right. Okay, that's it. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys. Thanks for being here.